Well, hello, hello, hello to everybody in this amazing community. It's Teresa Sanderson. My goodness, it's Monday, the 3rd of January, 2022 already, and super excited to connect with you today. I've almost got my voice back after having the dreaded sea thing over Christmas holiday and pretty much the whole month of December. But today I just want to share with you a couple of meditations I had as I took a walk in the snow outside of our yard today. So, by the way, I live in Kansas, Northeast Kansas, and it's feeling like a heat wave here today. It's 18 degrees. I think we've got a high of 32. It was 18 when I took my walk earlier today, about a 1 mile walk, and it's snowy, and I had my boots on, and boots have a certain almost like a tire tread on the bottom. Your good farm work boots, that is. So anyway, as I walked around, oh, and I wanted to mention it was like -4 yesterday, so that's why it felt like a heat wave. So, anyway, as I walked around outside, I really felt, um, as I was making these footprints in the fresh, powdery snow, that left a great impact on me as I was walking through there. And, in this beautiful layer of snow that's untouched by anything, my feet were making impressions. Okay. And one after another, they made different kinds of impressions. Some were just very solid and sure-footed. Others kicked a little dust around them. A couple of times I slid, and those made a different kind of an impression on the ground. And it just got me thinking about all of the things that we do throughout the year. And being the very first part of January, what kind of impression, what kind of impact will I leave on the world in 2022? Because, like that fresh, powdery snow that hasn't been walked on, these next 362 days, I guess we have left, have not been touched. They have not been manipulated in any way, steered toward me or against me or for me or against me, that kind of thing. They're just brand new, beautiful days coming at me. And so, what kind of impact or impression will I leave on them come the end of 2022, December 31st, 2022? Will I be able to look back on those footsteps that I've taken and those impressions that I've left on those days and see the value in that and see the ripple effect of maybe how I've affected others? Because again, as I took my walk this morning, remember you walk out and you walk back, right? So as I walked back, excuse me, an interesting thing was I took the same route, okay? And I noticed that I was seeing the footsteps that had led me out, okay? The footsteps that I had taken before in the other direction. And I thought, how interesting that is that I can literally see today where I've been before, the ground I walked on before, the foundation I laid to be where I'm at right now. Do you see what I'm saying? And so I think it's very seldom in our lives that we get to see, the true outcome or really how far we've come. And so as we think of goal setting and all of that kind of thing, it was just an interesting reflection that very seldom is it that clear. I set out to take my walk this morning and wanted to walk about a mile, even in 18 degrees, even though I've just been terribly, terribly sick, right? But this is the rehab that I'm committed to for my lungs to get me back to 100%. So it was beautiful to see that in the snow. But then more meditations kept flooding into my mind of, so here I am traveling back exactly the same way I came. Why would I do that? Why would I not take a different path? Lord knows we have a lot of them. I could have walked by the creek. I could have walked across the field. I could have done anything. But instead, I retraced my steps in the opposite direction and found myself back at the house. So it's just interesting, though. I think we need to think about the steps that we're taking every day and the actions that we're taking every day, hoping to have impact. Again, if we're not getting the results that we want, it's time to choose a new path, right? Because we're only going to end up right where we started if we take the same route. We will never see anything new. I might have passed some redbirds or something different on if I'd taken a different path. I might have seen some rabbits. But no, I chose to walk the drive. I walked the driveway up and back. And for somebody who lives near the woods and near a creek, that's kind of interesting, don't you think? I mean, yeah, it's a safe place to walk in the snow, but I certainly could have taken a different way back. So what about you? What are your thoughts as we move on into 2022? How are you going to embrace the new year? What kind of impact do you want to leave on the year? And what are you willing to maybe do differently to get yourself a better outcome or a different outcome come December 31st of 2022? I hope this has been useful for you. I know I sure enjoyed sharing it with you. And if you've not already hopped into my free Facebook group for nurse entrepreneurs going from bedside to business, I'm going to post a link below the video and you can hop in anytime. Thanks for joining me.